Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans, pets, and fish, welcome to the Day 9 TV Kaldheim card review, starring me, Day 9, in an unusually large mug. Alright. I have been the best that I have ever been about not looking at a single spoiler for this set. I know essentially only of the single card that I revealed. A foretelling flying horsey. I put a bunch of horse puns in there because I was trying to really keep the purity of this card review. And we've done it. We have achieved purity. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through the cards one at a time in Wooburg order. All the white, blue, black, red, and green cards. We'll then do the multicolored and artifacts, giving us a whole bunch of categories of good stuff. Now, this is going to be a little different than our past card reviews. In the past card reviews, I looked at a card and evaluated it on 0 to 5 in Standard and 0 to 5 in Draft. What I'm going to do is we're just going to assume that I think it's a 0 out of 5 unless I say otherwise, and we'll talk only about the notable tidbits about the card. And that's it. Now, before I go into character, I just want to note card reviews, as I like to say at the start of all these. Card reviews are intended to be fun. What we're trying to do is we're trying to just sort of look at cards and imagine a little bit into the future and talk about what's good and bad in a sort of fun way. So obviously we're going to be having gaps in our understanding of how the meta will function. And if you take this too seriously, well then maybe you take anime too seriously. Okay. Now, in this card review, 100% of everything I say is correct. We'll be looking at what are going to be constructed format staples, absolute draft bombs, and of course, what is going to get banned this time. There is probably going to be at least one card that we look at that is going to be ban-o'clock, that's going to be absolutely bannable, that is going to get the Presidential Medal of Ban. And we'll take a look at those. Let's kick it off right now. Starting with white. All right, here we go. Axgard Braggart, 3 and a white for a Dwarf Warrior. Boast, which is one of the new mechanics. And again, I have been so good at not spoiling myself, even on what a lot of the mechanics are. But I unfortunately did see some stuff, so we know what Boast is. Boast says, activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn, and only once each turn. So it's kind of like a conditional ability spend. And it looks like a completely solid limited card. 4 mana, 3/3. Pretty standard. The ability to put a counter on it for a pretty cheap Boast cost is tight. If you run this in Standard, you're banned from my chat forever. Great. Batter Shield Warrior, 2 and a white. 4. Wow. It's a 2/2 for 3, which I always feel a little bit about. Oh, and by the way, there was a question that Kazuki asked. Is Boast instant speed? It should be. It should be instant speed, because you can activate it if the creature is attacking, and you assume it's instant speed unless it says you can only cast it at sorcery speed. Anyways, Batter Shield Warrior, it's a 2/2 for 3, not a constructed card at all, but even in Draft, the 2/2 for 3 is a little bit low on the stat line. I like 2 3s and 3 2s for 3. But you can boast it for a bit to make everyone get swole up. Maybe finally going truly quite wide in Draft will be a thing. Maybe, baby. Oh, Iceman 1014 joined us, gifting 5 subs to kick our day off right, and then says, at what point do we remember that Day 9 said that Omnath sucked and constructed? Oh, I never said that, Omnath. I said it was definitely going to be banned, and I don't think anyone needs to look at the video, because you can trust me. There we go. All right. Whew, that was close. Battlefield Raptor. Oh, shit. A 1 mana flying first striking 1/2. Oh my god, this feels absolutely ideal for someone's starter deck that they got for free from a card shop. This card, oh yeah, I love Birds of the Day. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 in Constructed. I love this card. Hey, Usa Z, thanks for 10 gifted subs on card review day. The fact that this has first strike is actually incredibly relevant. You know, in limited formats, if you can equip this with some sort of buff, the first strike is an extraordinary keyword. There's already a lot of threats that can occur where you take a normal creature, give it an enchantment that has first strike. This has much more flexibility. It automatically has first strike, and you can plow some enchantments on it. This art is also hilarious. I mean, this is the funniest art I've ever seen. The reason it's funny is because This bird looks badass, running away from the explosion like he's Andy Samberg, okay? However, it implies that underneath, on the battlefield, there's a bunch of guys looking up with mortars going, oh, fuck, birds! And they're firing cannons into the sky to shoot birds. This is amazing! This is the funniest... I love this card. This gets a 10 out of 10 in terms of flavor. This is the best. Alright. Beskir Shieldmate. There's something about the word Beskir that sounds a little bit like an infection. Yeah, like if someone has an acute case of foot Beskir, you know, you want to make sure that they don't borrow your slippers. It's really gross. 1 and a white for 2/1. When it dies, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. I like any small white card in Constructed that when it dies, it summons another small white card. We already saw things like Hunted Witness show up in some white weenie decks. And I love white weenies as a format. Blue Wall 1, welcome back. I saw your tweet about Hitman. Oh my god, Hitman 3 is my favorite comedy game. So I took your advice from yesterday, downloaded MTGA, finished tutorial and Colors Challenge, did my first ranked game, and I lost. But I'm having so much fun. It's pretty nice to play Magic. Like, just start off free and just give it a shot. There's actually quite a lot of content and stuff that they throw at you. So, this one, I still would probably give it like a 3 out of 5 in Constructed. I don't think it's going to get banned. I don't think this is quite at the power level of Omnath. But, you know, being a 2-mana 2/1 is quite substantial compared to the Hunted Witness 1-mana 1/1. This is twice as expensive, so... Bound in Gold, Enchant Permanent. Enchanted Permanent can't attack, block, crew vehicles, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Okay. Vehicles we'll talk about more later, but this is just a classic white lockdown effect. This is a constructed effect. This is a limited effect, and I sometimes need 2 chances to say what I mean to say. This card does not seem excellent anywhere outside of limited. Clarion Spirit, 1 and a white. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create some white spirit creature token flying. Wait a minute, this is enchant. Oh, it's enchanted permanent. Oh, interesting. So you could technically enchant a planeswalker. Ooh. Still worse than Banishing Light. Anyways. Clarion Spirit, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create some white spirit creature tokens with flying. This, I feel like, is a trap. This to me, seems like an excellent draft card. We like 2-mana 2/2s on curve, because we can beat some ass, chump if we need to, you know, or trade if we need to. And Clarion Spirit has the ability to go wide in the skies. I would love this one in Limited. This would be unforkin' befookin' leavable. But here's a problem. It's a white card, and white is not known for smashing out a whole bunch of cheap spells. I suppose in a Feather deck, where you're booping your 1-mana spells on Feather, the Clarion Spirit is just going... And then probably being worse than, like, a 10th District Legionnaire. Yeah, I don't know. I think this card would probably cause you to lose stats on the other cards in your collection if you included this in a constructed deck. It feels like poison. Z-Blaster says, I'm trying to try Naya tokens in Historic. May test this a bit. Well, again, it's the second spell each turn. There's a lot of tokeny Naya stuff in Historic and Constructed that kind of does something on turn 1 and then turn 2, and then on turn 3, you do like another 2-drop or a 3-drop, and then on turn 4, you throw out Heroic Reinforcements or something. There's a real on-curviness, and there's a rarity, it seems like, to just smush out some things. This is why I like a card like... Imara, she's the 2/2 that whenever she taps, you create a 1/1. That, I feel like, is more strong, because it works with Convoke. And it can attack. Yeah, second spells, that's a lot. Codes, oh yeah, so 0 out of 5, you're banned from my chat if you use this card, even in a pre-release. Code Spell Cleric, 1 white. The image is of what I look like when I'm trying to cook. I don't know if any of you know this, but I am a terrible cook. I am the worst cook. Now, the thing is, I do know how to read, so although I can't cook, I can get a recipe, and using my ability to read, I can do what it says, and we can wind up with something edible. But whenever I'm doing anything, I'm a little bit anxious in the kitchen. Britt, if the water that's on the stove starts boiling, is that okay for the pot? And she's like, yep, it was designed for that. She doesn't even react anymore. And this absolutely looks like me whenever I'm trying to like flip something in the pan. It's fucking terrible. A 1-mana Vigilance 1/1. When Code Spell Cleric enters a battlefield, if it was the second spell you cast this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Huh. What? What? Part of me wants to consider this. Is this potentially an interesting and valuable card in Constructed? And the answer is no. This is a limited card that you're still going to become disappointed by. That's what this is about. This is a card where you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to get a 1-mana 2/2 value, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh god. You're burying your face in the same hands you just did this with. Yeah, Codespell Cleric seems like a card that's all around terrible, all around bad. If I were limited aggro, I would be devastated if this were in my deck. This feels like, at best, a 23rd card to me. I mean, a Vigilance 2/2, I mean, come on. No one's ever gotten excited about a Vigilance 2/2. That's what it says, don't we all play the 1-drops now? Listen, if you put this into a constructed deck and you hit Mythic, tell me about it, and I will give you all of my money. Yeah. Pseudo Chef. Thanks for the 5 gifts. Pseudo help me learn how to teach. Alright. Divine Gambit. Ooh, double white. Exile target, artifact, creature, or enchantment an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Oh my god. Absolute jank. Oh, fuck yeah, man. This is it. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is really kind of interesting. This is a jank out of 10. This is a jank card. This is the best card in the set. This one's going to get banned. I love it. It's so good. This is the best card that I've ever seen. This is so good. So, exile target, artifact, creature, or enchantment, and opponent controls, which sucks, because it means that I can't do it to myself. However, you can cast abilities that force your opponent to also cast copies of the card, which then they would target you, and then you could put out a huge thing. But the thing that's fun about this is that you can Divine Gambit to eat something, they bring something out, and then you eat another thing. And that is literally the most useless line that I've ever heard in my life. This is so good. This is the greatest thing. Imagine if your opponent is out of stuff and you just Divine Gambit into nothing. Mwah! This is so great. Imagine a discard Divine Gambit deck. This is one of the greatest card arts and flavor ever. There are rules, and then there are gods. Oh, yes. Oh, remember that caricature of you that I was talking about earlier where you take anime way too seriously? Well, guess what? Here's your line, anime friendo. This is a card that Noxious and I are going to brew shit on. Alright, my favorite card thus far. Doomscar. Destroy all creatures for 3 and a pair of whites, but you can foretell it for 1. Gross. You can foretell it for 1 and double white. Okay, so here's how the foretell mechanic works. Here's how the foretell mechanic works. Now, before I talk about the foretell mechanic, here's my favorite line from chapter I've read so far. Blue Wall says, I'm so new to Magic that I don't know if Day 9 is sarcastic. Listen, this entire card review is sarcastic. Alright, let me step out of character. Blue Wall, people like to do card reviews because when you can't play with the cards, it's fun to just think and talk about them and give rankings for what's going to be the best one. And almost across the board, all predictions are wrong in some regard. The card that everyone overlooked is the most broken card ever. The card that everyone thought was amazing is mediocre, yada, yada, yada. And a lot of this happens because of the fact that, let's say that there are 4 decks that are good in the meta. Why are the decks good at all? Well, if we take a look at the number 1 deck in the meta, it is because of some interactions that are happening using lots of different cards. So suddenly, a deck that was maybe 10th in terms of goodness in the current meta gets 3 power cards in the new set that lets it go zhoop and climbs seemingly out of nowhere into the top tier of gameplay. But again, what people tend to do in their card reviews is they look at the top 4 decks in the meta, and they say, does this help anything in this list? That tends to be the way it works. So for instance, Dimir Rogue's very good in Standard right now. If there was some sort of Flash Rogue, people would be like, this is going to be a top meta card, because they're speaking with respect to the current meta. And then also people tend to speak with respect to generic concepts. And so, that said, there are cards that will generally be good, such as this one. There are cards that are generally going to be, generally going to be terrible, such as Divine Gambit. It seems like the worst card that's ever been printed, although it is very clowny and very, very fun. So, I am being very sarcastic, Blue Wall. This card is garbage. However, this is back in character. This card's going to ruin the meta. Alright, Doomscar, 3 and a pair of white. So here's how the Foretell mechanic works. During my turn, I can pay 2 mana and I exile it face down. Then I can cast it later for its Foretell cost. And the way that you should think about this is it's kind of like being able to bank up and then do something really cheap later. So, you know, it's kind of like putting a down payment on something and then paying the rest later instead of paying the full upfront cost. And so this card is exceptional because white really struggles without a 3-mana sweeper. White has historically really struggled without a 3-mana sweeper. You have Deafening Clarion, you have like Sweltering Suns, you have Cry the Carnarium, you have these 3-mana sweepers in the other colors, but now with Doomscar, I can pay 2 on turn 2, and then on turn 3, wipe the board and move on. I think this is the best card that we've seen. Sincere, 5 out of 5 constructed. I actually don't think this card's that great limited, because frequently in limited, you are building a board, so destroy all of the shit is bad. Yeah! Dude, I am absolutely going to make my mono white Fall of Thran Bajuka Bog deck run the Doomscar. It's going to be so good. Alright. Doomscar Oracle, 2 and a white. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you gain 2 life. Foretell... Oh, come on. Anything that says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, something happens, then what you need to do is trade it away. This is what you need to do. You need to trade this shit away. This card is terrible. This card actually sucks on a degree of suck that's hard to even wrap my head around. Shadowcast says, no, it's on your turn. That's correct. That's what I said. So you can do, again, with this, you can do nothing on your turn 2. You can do this on your turn 2, and then when it comes back around your turn 3, you can cast it for 3. I know how the card works. But yeah, this card sucks. This card is unbelievably terrible and bad. The reason why this is good in control decks is that often control decks don't need to do anything on turn 2. And that's specifically why this is a very good sweeper. Whoa! Yeah, I mean, I suppose that this is going to go into limited, but, like, why would you want to foretell it and then cast it on turn 3 for cheap? On curve? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Whenever you cast your second spell, I mean, the upside isn't even that good. It's a 3-mana 3/2 that occasionally has upside, and weirdly is foretellable. Giant Ox, 1 and a white. Giant Ox crews vehicles using its toughness rather than its power. Oh, interesting. It's time to talk about the crew mechanic. So the idea of the crew mechanic is you have an artifact that you can think of as a vehicle. And the vehicle can't do stuff by itself. So let's imagine a vehicle that's 2 mana, and it's a 4/4. What? That's so overpowered. It can't do anything unless it has a crew. So the way it generally works is you tap some members of the crew, and then the vehicle becomes a creature, and then it can attack, and then it goes back to being an artifact. So crewing is based upon the power of the creatures. So if you have a 2/2 and a 3/2, you can crew for up to 5. So sometimes you have vehicles that are like, I need 5 crew. Sometimes I need 2 crew. So the fact that this uses toughness rather than power is really sick, because this 2-mana dude can crew for 6. And this is really cool because there's a lot of crew vehicles that are balanced around how expensive the crew cost is. I'm a cheap, unbelievably powerful vehicle, and I need a huge crew. Giant Ox is a huge crew. And when I first looked at the art, I thought that this was the top of its mouth, and that this here was the bottom. That it was opening its mouth up, and it was like, ah! That's the very first thing I saw, because my mind uses closure. Boop. Glorious Protector. This is me. Protecting you from the masses on Twitch. Protecting you from making poor decisions. Here I am, 2 and a white for a 3/4 Flash Flyer. Ooh! When Glorious Protector enters the battlefield, you may exile any number of non-angel creatures you control until Glorious Protector leaves the battlefield. This card is fucking awesome. This card is amazing. This card is unbelievable. This absolutely... Holy shit. Oh my god. Glorious Protector. Let's talk about functionally this long line. When it enters the battlefield, exile any number of non-angels until it leaves the battlefield. This is an anti-sweeper tech. So for instance, I'm White Weenie. I've played a bunch of 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana creatures. I foretell the Glorious Protector. And then on turn 3, my opponent casts Wrath of God. I respond with Glorious Protector, exile all my little ones. Glorious Protector dies to the sweeper. Whoosh. Here comes a whole bunch of dudes. This is what I'll call the basic case for this line of text right here. Other interesting cases, again with this flicker exile sort of zoom away effect. Excuse me. Other types of things, I can imagine in Limited being able to set up a block and then play the Glorious Protector and flicker away the blocker or something like this. But that's probably going to be less common than just flashing the Glorious Protector in anyways and killing shit. This is also really exciting to me, I think, in even more control-y kind of decks, because it's a relatively cheap flash flyer that deals 3. This is actually very, very good. The fact that I could, say, foretell on turn 2 in a control matchup, and then they play something like a Narset, and then boom, I play a Glorious Protector on flash and just bonk her down. That seems really, 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 really nice. Yeah, I think Glorious Protector is awesome. 5 out of 5 constructed. Absolutely amazing. Will it be banned? No, I don't think so. The reason I think it's not banned is it's a relatively controlled power set. This is the clause that could be very good, but it requires stuff. Very different from Uro, which is just ridiculously good. Russian Ally says, does it lose flash if foretold? It shouldn't, because you can only do the foretell payment on your turn, and once you have done that, then you can cast it for its foretell cost at any time. So it's the paying of the 2 that you have to do on your turn. And then this you can cast it at any point in time. God's Hall Guardian. Ooh, 5 and a white for a 3/6. Well, it's a cat, so it's already the best card in the set. Vigilance, foretell for a bunch. Okay, it's so bad that we're going to free up some time so I don't wind up going for 9 hours again. Yeah, 0 out of 5. If you run this, you better own a cat. And if you don't, you're out of my chat. Gold Maw Champion, 2 and a white for Boast. Tap target creature. Oh, fuck yeah. I love this. The card is very good. I will never use a grovelly tone again. Alright. So, Gold Maw Champion. Anytime I'm looking in Limited, 2 and 3 mana cards, you just generally want a good amount of 2 and 3 mana creatures, like no matter what. More so than 1 mana creatures. 1 mana creatures tend to just suck too much. But it's 2 and 3, and so a lot of times there's the pack fillery sort of thing, like imagine a vanilla 2/3. It's a 3 mana 2/3 that does nothing else. This has a reasonable defensive stat line, which is nice, a 2-3 rather than a 3-2. And after you get some stabilization, the fact that you can attack and cheaply tap a creature is very good. Previously, there were cards like, say, Giant Killer, Giant Slayer, whatever the name of the card is. Giant Slayer, I think, is an item in Teamfight Tactics or something like that. It was like a 1-mana creature that you had to pay mana to tap itself and then tap something else. Goldmaw Champion is like doing both. You can attack and tap something, and that's... Oh, wait, what's this? How good is this if I can only activate after attacking? Well, the turn order is, once we go to combat, there's pre-combat, I get to act, you get to act. And me being the attacker. Pre-combat, I get to act, you get to act. And then it's declare attackers. I declare them, and then I get to act, you get to act. Then you declare blockers. Then I get to act and you get to act. Then there's combat damage. I get to act, you get to act, right? So there's always in between each phase, there's a I can do something, you can do something. And this is where instant speed shit goes down. So Goldmaw Champion, you can declare this as an attacker. Boop. And then I can tap your dude. And then it's time for you to respond to that tap. And then you declare blockers. So functionally, Goldmaw Champion can swing and tap a dude out each time. By the way, sorry for this like big white flash that keeps happening. It's just the way that Google Presenter works. Halvar, God of Battle, 2 and a pair of whites. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. Okay. Okay. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to target creature you control. Okay. 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 Okay, 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 okay. And on the flip side, this is also Sword of the Realms. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance. Whenever equipped creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Okay, so first of all, what is this card? You can see up in this top corner, you have this weird symbol, and also down here you have equipment. So this is a dual-faced card. This is the front of the card. This is the back of the card. So my understanding is that this is really similar to the land cards, where you can play it as a land or you can play it as the effect or something like this. But this, the main side of this is important, because if I cast a spell that says discard target creature in your opponent's hand, if I look at your hand, this is a creature. Right? If it said target opponent discards an artifact, this is the backside, so it doesn't matter. However, I'm gonna make a claim. I'm gonna make a claim. Man, why is my hair so dry? I put some product in it. I need to put more product in it. Oh yeah, how does this work in real life? It's on both sides of the card. So you have to sleeve them. And I suppose in a draft, you would just see the card. You just open it up and be like, oh, that guy's a fucking Halvar. Whatever. So anyways, this is a 4/4 for 4 that is pretty mediocre. It allows me to swap equipment among my creatures and makes them a little bit more powerful. You have to sleeve and draft? No, I don't mean in the format draft, Hitzel. I mean in literally a draft. Right, in the draft portion of the draft. Because you have a closed pack, you open it up, you take it, you look at unsleeved cards. So that's what I was talking about. And I believe you're required to like declare some shit like that. I don't do a lot of real life drafting. Anyways, this front side seems bad. I would give this a 0 out of 5 in constructed. Absolutely garbage, terrible, not a strong side. But what do we think about this side? It means that if I equip this to, say, a really powerful card like Pelakka Worm, I can equip the Sword of the Realms to Pelakka Worm. When Pelakka Worm dies, it goes back to my hand. Huh. I think this card is better than the other card. How does the legend rule work with this? My understanding would be this side and this side are just different things. They're just different things. So if you have a sword out, you have a legendary artifact, and Halvar can be next to it. So you can equip the Sword of the Realms onto Halvar, and that's fine. So obviously in Limited, this is a bomb. This is a bomb-ass Limited card because it allows you to have one creature, equip to the creature, it dies, comes back to the hand. Enters the battlefield, equip the creature, it dies, comes back to the hand. This is probably one of the best cards in Draft. Period. But this side is so bad that if I ever see a Halvar at my table, I will throw my head back and laugh until my opponent concedes. I mean, this is okay. This really feels like a sword who can occasionally be an entire man. So, you know, whatever. I think Sword of the Realms plus some adventure creatures are going to be good. But I think the bigger issue is that adventure creatures are absolutely bullshit overpowered. Unbelievable. So I'm going to stop reviewing this card because, again, I think the sword half is the good half. Invoke the Divine. Destroy an artifact or an enchantment. You gain 4 life. These are for people that hate Ember Cleaves. So in that regard, you know, 5 out of 5 in Constructed, huh? Yeah, this is a garbage card. Iron Verdict. 2 and a white. Iron Verdict deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. Oh, okay. Very strong limited card. Very strong limited card. Often you kind of have choppy curves in Limited. In Constructed, it's generally built so that on turn 1, you spend 1 mana, turn 2, you spend 2, turn 3, you spend 3. But this is like the perfect card to have a foretell cost, because often you want to have one of these removal spells, but 3 to kill something conditionally, it can be awkward to find the right time. So what do? With your choppy mana curve that often happens in Limited, you Iron Verdict, foretell it, so now it's put away, and then you can smash the face. If your opponent tries to counter swing, boom, you pop out with 1 mana. Having 1 mana available and Constructed is terrifying. What if that's a fatal push? Having 1 mana open in Draft, your opponent ain't going to give a fuck. And 5 damage to a tapped creature is incredible. Back Monster says, yeah, Foretell is just Yu-Gi-Oh's trap card system. Is it? I don't even know how the trap card system works. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I don't take anime that seriously. By the way, I wanted to just briefly note something about this. This actually reminds me of Legends of Runeterra. For any of you that don't know the legend rule in Magic, if I have Halvar out, a 4-mana, 4/4, if I cast a second Halvar, one of the Halvars instantly dies. I get to pick which one dies, but one of them instantly dies because the game says you can only have 1 out at a time. Only 1 legendary of each name. So, I mean, I could have a Halvar and a Narset out. I can have 2 different legendaries, but I can't have the same legendary out. So, in Legends of Runeterra, when you have these types of legendary cards, if you have played one onto the battlefield, they transform into a second mode in the hand. So, if I play my hero, if I had duplicate copies in my hand, they flip automatically and become like deal damage things. And this forces it in, or I should say in Legends of Runeterra, this guarantees that you don't ever run into the issue where you have multiple of a legendary in a hand and it feels so terrible. I think this is a really nice version of that same kind of thing. If I draw 2 Halvars, well, really I've drawn a Halvar and a Sword of the Realm, so it always feels good. Alright, Kaya's Onslaught. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn with Foretell. It's just a nice limited combat trick. Again, I think Foretell, things that have a Foretell cost of 1 are going to be incredible in Limited. I would give this a 5 out of 5 in Limited. Just like unbelievable. Master Scald. 4 and white for a 4/4. When Master Scald enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That is so weird. That is so weird. Oh, that's actually kind of cool, because what it feels like is that Master Scald went to the grave, dug up a body, and stole the sword. But I'm a white card. Oh, it's so good. Oh, this cracks me up. Hitzel says, there's an old set where the legendary creatures actually do the Runeterra thing. Did you know that there's a past set in Magic the Gathering that does any game mechanic you've ever heard of? Oh yeah, Dark Souls? Yeah, no, Magic the Gathering had a set that also included three-dimensional connected Metroidvania landscapes. Oh yeah, no, that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, Overwatch? Oh yeah, class-based team shooter. There was a set in Magic where you assembled a class-based. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Holding a shield up as Reinhardt. Magic's already done that, absolutely. There's a shield mechanic you place down. Shield counters. I mean, there's not as good audio design, but, you know, still. Magic had it. Lucas Martori says, it's the Simpsons of gaming. Oh, dude, ain't that the truth. Master Skald seems like an interesting one. Again, artifact. This is really, 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 really important because there are lots of artifacts that are vehicles. And again, a vehicle is an artifact that can turn into a creature by having other of your creatures operate it. So, returning an artifact from the graveyard is a little bit like saying Master Skald can exile a creature and give you back another strong creature, which would be, again, a vehicle artifact. So, in my eyes, Master Skald is dog shit and constructed and is a limited card only. Rally the Ranks, 1 and a white. As Rally the Ranks enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of chosen type get +1/+1. Holy fuck! Oh! Oh, 5 out of 5 in constructed. Oh my god. Oh, yes. Oh, who likes having so many tiny white creatures climbing all over you? Oh my god. You know those videos of people who like walk up to a bunch of puppies and the puppies start climbing over them? Imagine if all of those puppies were poisonous. This card is for that kind of deck. Poison puppy deck. Oh yeah. White Weenie is the archetype of many, many, many cheap, tiny creatures overwhelming you. And it's typically called White Weenie because white has the strongest, cheap little baby cards. So Rally the Ranks, a creature type that would be really strong would be something like humans or warriors. I mean, humans is the one that comes to mind. You know, something like Hunted Witness or Soldier or something like this. It's not legendary. It's 2, and again, the difference between 2 and 3 is ridiculous. This card is stupid, and it's insane, and it's really, 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 really good. Ooh, Adrial says, Blue-White Crab Tribal. Absolutely. We're big fans of crab here. We actually have an emote, De Crablar, that is a crab, and it has no reference. I just like crabs. So if we could see some crabs in the chat, I'd be much obliged and deeply appreciative. Thank you all. There it is. There it is. Some people ask viewers to redeem their Twitch Prime. I ask everyone to show crabs, and I am satisfied. Those, because, you know, if you think about it, the crab is food on the table. Raydane, God of the Worthy. Is the name Raydane? Or is it Redan? Raydane, God of the Worthy, 2 and a white for a 2/3. Flying Vigilance. Snow lands your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. Uh-oh. Non-creature spells your opponents cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. Oh, okay, before we evaluate it. Valkmera, Protector Shield, 3 and a white. This is the backside of Raydane. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. Whenever you or another permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Fives. My god. Fives. My god. If this card were rice, and instead of 5s it was soy sauce, I would absolutely drench this. You know what I mean? That's how I like my rice. And this is how I like my Raidanes. However it's pronounced. I like it covered in 5s. I really think I lost track of this analogy. It got away from me. It's fine. Here's the thing. Snowlands, your opponent control, enter the battlefield tapped. I don't know nothing about Snowlands. I have no clue what any of this means. I have no clue. I don't know. I do not know. Non-creature spells your opponents cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater, cost 2 more. This is the converted mana cost of most sweepers. Wrath of God is 4. Ritual of Soot is 4. Languish is 4. Eat to Extinction is 4. Storm's Wrath is 4. And there's, of course, the more expensive ones, but I mean, it's really, really good for removing a bunch of this stuff. Also, there tends to be a lot of 2-for-1 kind of planeswalkers that come out, you know, like a 4 or 5 mana planeswalker that can kill a thing. You can play Raydane, which is the name now. Raydane allows you to just delay that stuff. So I mean, this is kind of like an expensive Thalia. Thalia is a card that's a 2 mana creature that buffs cost of things. I mean, this is incroyable, absolutely incroyablement. So I love this. This is a 5 out of 5 front. And on the back, if you play it again, this is great against red decks. So say if you are a white weenie deck and you're up against some sort of mono red deck that's using deal 1 damage to everything, almost all your cards have 1 health in a white weenie deck. So the fact that Valkmera prevents 1 damage is just, oh! And look at this. Whenever you or another permanent becomes a target of a spell or ability, counter it unless its controller pays 1. It bumps the cost of all single target removal spells. It's good, 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 it's good. This is spectacular. This is just an amazing card. In limited, it's also a 2/3 flyer with vigilance. I mean, this is great. This is great. I think more often than not, the front will be cast and not the back, but I mean, the flexibility. By the way, I can't stress enough, modal dual face cards, if it's an okay 1 half and an okay second half, the card's actually stunning. The fact that you have a choice is absolutely spectacular. We've already seen this with every constructed deck under the sun, including a couple of modal dual face lands. You know, even ones like Shatterskull Smashing, which is wildly overcosted for what it does. I mean, you run 4 of in a red deck. It's so good. Will it be banned, says Jeppachino? No. It won't be because it depends upon the existence of other cards. This cannot win alone. This cannot win alone. Oko can win alone. But this is absolutely... this with this. 5 out of 5. Incredible. Resplendent Marshal. I really wish this card looked like Marshal Sutcliffe. So that way... Actually, can someone do me a favor and Photoshop Resplendent Marshal Sutcliffe? I really think that that's a card that needs to exist. 1 and 2 white for a 3/3 flyer. Wow, that's good. When Resplendent Marshal Sutcliffe enters a battlefield or dies, repair target watch. Absolutely incredible reference. Ugh. When Resplendent Marshal enters a battlefield or dies, you may exile another creature card from your graveyard. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control other than Resplendent Marshal that shares a creature type with the exiled card. Fuck. Alright, well, White Weenie is the best. White Weenie is like it's at number 1. Okay, let's talk about this card. 3/3 flyers for 3 are legit strong cards in Constructed if they have some kind of upside. So, for instance, the 3/3 Angel that if you gained enough life in a turn, it summoned another Angel creature token. So, Mabonopsis Marshal already has a Photoshop version on his Twitter. Excellent. Highly excellent. Resplendent Marshal, when it enters the battlefield, you can exile... So if I'm like White Weenie, and I've had a human die, I can play Resplendent Marshal on turn 3, exile the human in my graveyard, and give all of my humans +1/+1. And when it dies, it does it again. I mean, this is incredible. Is this 5 out of 5 in limited? Yes! It's a 3/3 flyer! What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? You don't even have to have a limited deck that is like human only. You can do things like have 3 humans and exile 1 human and just buff another human. It's amazing. This is amazing. This is an amazing card. I love this. Does this synergize with Mothra? I mean, sure. I mean, it could, yeah. I mean, everything synergizes with Mothra, I guess. I think Mothra is bad, I think is the problem with it. Revitalize. This card already exists, and so nobody cares. Righteous Valkyrie. 2 and a white for a 2/4 flyer. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Wow. As long as you have at least 7 more life than your starting total, creatures you control get +2/+2. What the fuck? That's just very good. Huh. Wow. Wow. Water Bro Joe says, I wish it has lifelink. It has summon link. It has summon link. If you summon a thing, it gets all healthy. Okay, so limited. A 2/4 flyer for 3 that can heal you. Very good. And if you heal enough, you now have a 4/6 flyer for 3, which is busted. So it's just very clearly good and limited. In constructed, this card is fucking garbage. Okay, that's why you tuned into me. You tuned in because you were worried that you might buy 4 of these things and put this in your deck. Garbage, garbage, garbage in constructed. It's so unbelievably bad in constructed. This is not going to make the cut in constructed. There's not a chance. Absolutely no chance. Albatross of Time says, first absolutely wrong call of the day. No Albatross of Time. Listen, Albatross of Time, I don't even know this, but Albatross of Time is literally an albatross, right? Albatross of Time is sitting there with his like gold chain, oversized clock. He can't even fly with it. It's too heavy. And he's typing things like, first wrong call of the day, and all this stuff. Let me tell you, last time I made a call that a card was bad, Albatross of Time was so pissed off, he laid an egg. Like, absolutely, Albatross of Time is the tiltiest bird I've ever seen. Why don't you go shove some fish in your gullet and stop telling me that I'm wrong when I'm fucking right, okay? This is why this card sucks. When it enters the battlefield, it's a flying 2/4. What a flaccid, uneventful, unexciting, do-nothing, go-nowhere card the first turn it's played. 2 damage in the air? Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, wow. I can't wait to stay up all night waiting outside my own apartment so I can be the first in line to my computer to buy a Righteous Valkyrie. Okay, it's a 2 damage flyer in constructed. Now, you have to have a ton of angels that also don't do a lot the first turn they're played, and there could be other angels in this set, and I'm going to tell you right now it doesn't matter because this card sucks. If you have the Righteous Valkyrie down, you need a lot of help just to get it to be a 4/6 flyer, where it still isn't doing anything the turn it's played. So you're gaining a lot of life to have things that are just not sweeper or target proof. Right? There's way too much single target removal. This is a 3 mana, by itself, low pressure card that conditionally can apply pressure. It's bad. It's bad, 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 it's bad. Iceman 1014 says it also works with anything in Cleric Tribal. What? Who? I mean, Iceman, this is like you giving to me a burnt, broken car with bees in it and saying, well, hey, look at the cup holder. It works with any drink. Come on, Iceman. What do you mean it works in Cleric Tribal? What's a Cleric Tribal deck gonna do? A bunch of clerics look at each other like, we shall heal each other, and then you fucking deck yourself because you didn't do anything. Can't believe it. Can't believe it, Iceman. Iceman says, LOL, I'm roasted. Yeah, that's right. All I want at the end of this card review is to have my viewership descend to 0. But at least I know I was right, Sean said, crying with righteous energy. Oh, it feels so good. Yeah, so I don't like this card very much. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn into clickbait there for a moment. I apologize for that. Wow, I need to just What is in this? Wow, let me... It's anger juice. I can't believe... I brought my own anger juice. BYOJ. I should have been more thoughtful. To you fucking idiots! This card's okay, I'm sorry. I gotta stop drinking this. Let me put this away. I gotta move on to the next card. Let me just... Okay. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I just need to... Oh, gosh, I should have practiced self-care before doing this stream. Rune of Sustenance, 1 and a white. It's an Aura Rune. Okay, Aura Rune. Enchant permanent. When Rune of Sustenance enters the battlefield, draw a card. Alright. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has lifelink. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment. I broke my brain. Wait, this enchants a permanent. It redraws. It gives permanent lifelink. And oh, so it can give a creature or an equipment lifelink. Okay, now that I understand it, it's worse than this card. Okay, absolutely worse. So Rooney Sustenance, it's a 2-mana card that replaces itself, gives some lifelink. It feels pretty mediocre. It feels like, maybe you get it in limited and you're like, it's okay. It's kind of an interesting one, right? Tarnished Wit says Boros giving Embercleave lifelink. Is that helpful? Helpful? Is that like a necessary thing to do? I don't know. It doesn't seem like anything. It doesn't seem to solve any problem. If I'm trying to kill someone with an Embercleave, I'm not going, I hope I can heal right on up. Is that a... Uh-oh, hello. Oh. I'm trying to... Yeah, I'm getting a little affection. You have no idea how good my card review has been so far. It's been really good. Yeah, like... My wife just gave me a thumbs up, and it was very clear that she was trying not to laugh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's move the trap.
I'm bringing Sheriff in.
We're bringing Sheriff in? Oh, okay. Great. Guys, we're about to have my cat. All right, Rune of Sustenance, 0 out of 5. Okay, Runeforged Champion, 2 and a white for a Dwarf Warrior, 2/3. When Runeforged Champion enters the battlefield, you may search your library and or graveyard for a rune card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. You may pay 1 rather than pay the mana cost for rune spells you cast. Whoa! Let's look for some 1-mana rune cards, shall we? So this is a 2/3 for 2 that is all about the runes. Blaze of Fire says all runes cost 2, by the way. But the thing is that it's 1 colorless. So this means like Rune of Sustenance could be run. This is a white card and this is a white card. But like if there were a black rune, you could run it in this. So 2/3 for 3 is kind of like... There are 5 runes, 1 for each class. Alright, I'm going to hold off on reviewing this. That's totally fine. Let's return to Search for Glory. It's a snow sorcery for 2 and a white. Search your library for a snow permanent card, a legendary card, a saga card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. You gain 1 life for each snow spent to cast this spell. Snow is mana from a snow source. What's a snow land? Isn't it a land with like... It's just a snow land? It's... Okay, duels are basic. Okay. It's just a land that says snow on it. Okay. And give me 1 quick second. We talked about top secret things, specifically the cats. Alright, so this is look for a card and gain some life. So if tutors are good in standard, this is a tutor again, this is like search for a specific thing, then if they're good, then that's just a sign of a really, really healthy meta. I really love like that idyllic tutor was a thing. Jeff Hoagland says, I like that you covered your mouth to block lip reading. That was the next level. Yeah, because if I said something like, you'd know what I said, right? And I had to say that continuously for about 1 minute. So I don't know. I feel like this is an opportunity card, right? This is like a, hey, if someone wants to make some jank, I made a card for you. So I like this. This is a 5 out of 5 for me because it's janky enough. Nox and I will be vibrating with excitement here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Shepherd of the Cosmos. 4 and a pair of whites for a 3/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, return target permanent card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh! Well, isn't this card wildly overcosted? This is a limited card. No one wants to run a 6-mana flying 3/3 that you have to invest a bunch in just to make it break even. Ugh. Big, gross, bad, not interesting, sweet art, sweet flavor, highly sweet. Foretell, though, that's what I mean. I have to pump 2 into it so that I can pay 4 later to get a 3. It's very... that on 4 is kind of sick, though. Here's the thing. I worry about a deck chock full of foretellable supporters of tiny baby cards and decks. You might run a white weenie deck. You might run a white weenie deck that has maybe a Shepherd of Cosmos, like maybe a 4 of this, and then not the other angel, right? You just have to be really, 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 really careful with putting too many of these in. This being pay 2 to then foretell it for 4, and then for 4 I get a flying 3/3 with maybe a tiny creature on there. Ugh. So I guess you are right in that it does work with land. But no, I'm going to give a 0 out of 5 constructed, and I'm super, super duper correct. Oh, hi, Sheriff. Hi. Oh. Oh. Normally the cats are in the back bedroom. Sheriff, let me clear a little space for you, baby girl. Oh my God, I love my cats. Oh, is Despy angry? Honey, could you clear a little space here so Sheriff has a disembarkment platform?
Yes.
All right, we have lots of cats in here. It's great. All right, Sigrid, God favored. 2 whites and 1 for a flash. First strike protection from gods. When Sigrid Godfavors enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target attacking or blocking creature until Sigrid leaves the battlefield. Oh my God. This is really, really unbelievable. Hey, Desper. I mean, this is incredible. You can flash in a first striker. So against mono red, you can flash this in, exile 1 creature, take out the other one with first strike. Flash first strike is 5 out of 5. This is amazing, 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 amazing and constructed. Pretty damn solid in limited. Can definitely slow the game down. But seriously, it's a combat trick that stays 5 out of 5 and limited 5 out of 5 constructed. Very, very, very good card. I love that it has protection from gods. That's really cool. Uh-oh, my cat has a chair. Oh God, this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to have my kitties on here. Spectral Steel. Uh-oh. Anytime I hear steel, I suddenly begin to freak out because tempered steel was a problem. 1 and a white. For an enchanted creature gets ++2, sure. Exile Spectral Steel from your graveyard. Return another target or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Very limited. Literally, it's a limited card, and it's limited in strength. Hey, Sheriff. Come here. Let me move my pens. Oh my God, my cat's about to make a big leap. Okay, let me move this. All right. The mouse pad landing is open for you. Oh my God, I don't even give a shit about the cards anymore. It's my cat. My cat has not been on stream in so long. Oh, you're gonna chew on the box. Oh, this is highly awesome. What a good girl. And yeah, you can land on that. My cat is just dumber than a sack of bricks. I can't believe it. So there's a bookshelf. So Britt placed a chair that's this tall, so Sheriff could go from the bookshelf onto the chair, onto the ground. Sheriff just did a lion's leap to bypass the chair and thunk clumsily on top of a pile of boxes. What a good girl. And there's Despy, the freak-out cat. All right, great. This card seems like some value in limited, but it's not a constructed card. I mean, you in constructed, you want a card that like brings it from the graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, hi, sweetheart. You want a card that goes graveyard to battlefield? You don't want something that goes graveyard to hand, unless it's for something really, really high value. Stalwart Valkyrie, 3 and a white. You may pay a little bit and exile a creature card from your graveyard rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Whoa. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A 2 mana, 3/2 flyer. Oh my god. This is pretty good in limited. I think in constructed, this has the same problem that 2/4 angel does, where it's just like, dude, why? What's the point? You have a 2/4 angel, like, who cares? Right? If you have a 3/2 angel in constructed, like, who cares? And plus, like, the probability that you can hit this on tempo, and if you miss this, if you just can't cast it for 2, then all of a sudden you're casting it for 4 and it's a 3/2 flyer. Limited, though, I like the Stalwart Valkyrie quite a bit. Allows you to sort of get back in the tempo game. Like, for instance, if on turn 4 you're behind in draft and you've lost a creature, you've traded or something like that, you can then play the Stalwart Valkyrie and another 2 mana creature and really sort of get a swing back in. That feels quite nice. Starnheim Courser, 2 and a white for a flying. Artifact and enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I want to love it, but I hate it. It's upsetting my cat as well. Oh, I love having my little babies here. Hi, sweetie pie. Oh, she's going out of control. By the way, for any of you who've never met my little gray cat, watch this. Hey, if you're happy and you're not going to do it with me, are you? Okay. I'm happy to see you too, sweetheart. She's just. I was gonna do the game. Okay, Dispy. Hey, come here. She is just pissed. Alright, Starnheim Courser is about as good as my gray cat is happy. This card's awful. Let's move on to the next one. Starnheim Unleashed. 2 and a pair of whites for a mythic. Create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying vigilance. The spell is foretold. Create X of those tokens instead. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bomb. Bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. Now, it is sorcery speed, so it's not going to get banned, but I mean, here's the idea. You are maybe a white control deck, or you're in a limited situation. You play this on turn 2, then you just kind of play a game until things are starting to settle down, and then you just pay 1 and 3/3, and then you make 3/4/4 angels. This is amazing. This is amazing. Hecate Keeping says, works well with the 2/4 angel from earlier. Ugh. Hold on. You know what? Let me... yeah, but I just think... I don't know. It seems terrible. All right. Let me try to really roll my eyes. Ugh. Yeah, this I'm still going to give it 5s across the board, not because it has synergy with a card that's emergency terrible, but because it's a card that works well in limited, works well in constructed. Getting to 7 mana with this is really, really nice. And it's easy to cast. 1 white, XX. Here, let me move. I'll move my plant. There you go, little kitten. What do I need to raise my standing desk for you? Watch this. Let's see. There you go. All right. Also, frankly, yeah, a 4 mana 4/4 for 4 in a pinch seems nice. I love it. It's a great in constructed, great in limited. You don't want to have a lot in constructed, but you still want a little bit. All right, here comes. Yeah, come here. Come here. She's right by the camera. I love you. You want to come over here? She's... You know what? Watch this. What happens if I start raising this? Let's see what happens. Whoa. Alright, this card review is getting severely derailed. Story Seeker. Well, this is you. You, I would rate highly. The card's very mediocre. It's just a 2/2 bear. It's just a Healy bear. Squatting Healy bear. It seems fine. Usher of the Fallen. A single white for 2/1. Okay. Spirit Warrior Boast. Create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. All right, yes! Now, I am obviously a fan of the White Weenie archetype and its potential for showing up later on in Zamita. Usher of the Fallen seems like a very nice card to have there. It's a very, very, very nice card to have there. This is like the best constructed boast card I've seen yet. In Limited, I actually feel slightly less good about this, but it's still obviously very potent, because if you can disable one creature, you can start to go quite wide. This feels really, really nice. The reason I like this in Constructed is that if you're White Weenie, you're not going to be able to activate this that many times. What are we doing? What are we chewing on? Alright, doesn't matter. I'm really excited, by the way. I'm really, really excited, by the way, because both my cats are in the room. We keep the two cats and the dog separated. Hey, Sheriff. Yeah, you're loud too. Are you stuck? Okay. We're going to go through white, we're going to go through red, white and then blue, and then we're going to make sure that the little kitties are doing good. But yeah, activating this like 1 or 2 times in Constructed feels perfectly solid, even if it dies in the end. Valkyrie Sword, 1 in white. Valkyrie Sword enters the battlefield, you may pay a bunch. If you do, make a white Angel Warrior creature token with Flying and Vigilance and equip this to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. This feels like an overt attempt to try to make equipment better, and I think it succeeds at that. I think that this is a nice card to be able to just have as maybe some early aggression, a turn 2 play in Limited, or maybe, wait until turn 7 and smash us down, and then you have like a 6/5 flyer. Sheriff, hey, no, that's the fucking power. No, get out of there. Get out of there. Those are my power cables. What are you doing? Come here. Sheriff, come here. Oh, for God's sake, everyone. My cat is a little saboteur. There you go. What a good girl. Okay. She went to my new power cord setup and she was tugging at the main surge protector. Just tugging at it. Love having my cats around. That's a 5 out of 5 cat. This card is limited, like 3 out of 5. Not anything special and constructed. Don't really care about it. Valor of the Worthy, 1 white, enchanted creature. Gets +1/+1. When enchanted creature leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 flight spirit creature token with flying. Ooh, shit. I want to zoom your brain into a very specific bit of language. When enchanted creature leaves the battlefield, create that white spirit creature token with flying. There's a lot of effects that say when a creature dies, summon a stuff. But what leaves the battlefield means dies, exiles, anything, and it gets returned to hand, like anything like that is really, 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 really nice. So if you do something like bounce it or flicker it, the Valor of the Worthy does fall off and go to the graveyard, but I do like things that have like a little bit of guaranteed make a leftover nerd. So I don't necessarily think this will be constructed good because I probably just want a creature that does the same effect, but Unlimited, seems okay. I don't know. This is the one that I feel the most questionable about. This is the one I feel the most, it could be a little bit powerful. Being in a Luris deck is Albatross of Time, who, by the way, is one of the smartest birds I've ever met. Valor of the Worthy does seem a little bit like, could be quite good in there. Warhorn Blast. Okay, creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. I think it's valuable to have like one of these, but it does seem like a Trumpet Blast with more steps, so I'm going to give it a 0 out of 5 in Limited. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's not good. I'm not into it. This is not a thing. Wings of the Cosmos. A single white target creature gets +1/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. Untap it. Basic combat trick and Limited. You're always looking for one of these, and something with flying and untapping is very white. Nice to have one of these. There's a sort of more important subtle aspect to this in Draft. There's a lot of foretell cards that are clearly built for Draft that are activated with 1 white mana. So Wings of the Cosmos being a 1 white mana combat trick can really help mind game your opponent, make them misplay. This is quite good. And we're on to blue. All right, Cracks Knuckles. We've been going for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Well, I hope you have coffee. We're going to be going for a little bit of time. Oh my god. Numot the Nummy just raided with a party. Well, welcome to the party, all the party people. Genji Igashira, aka Numot the Nummy. High-level competitor, excellent streamer, absolutely a better gamer than I am at Magic the Gathering. However, nowhere near as powerful as I am at reviewing cards. And that's why it's good, Numa, that you sent your beans over here. So that way we can properly educate them on the right cards to pick. Because we have nailed white. We identified everything that was good and everything that was bad. And here's the thing. This card is terrible. Want to double down on that. For any new viewers that just joined, this is the one I crapped on the most. Not a constructed playable card, 0 out of 5. And, I almost got there. Alrund, God of the Cosmos. 3 and a pair of blues for a 1/1. Not a very tough god, huh? Alrund gets a +1/+1 for each deck in your hand, and each foretold card you own in exile. Okay. So if I have 7 cards, it's a 5-mana 7/7. Fine. If I have 5 cards, listen, I don't even remember what the hell I said. If I have some number of cards and I'll run out, maybe something happens. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card type. Then, and a card type is like enchantment, creature, instant, those things. Choose a card type. Then reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It does turn Scry into card draw, but the thing is, if you say land every time and your deck is like a third-ish land, you generally are drawing. You're generally drawing stuff. Hey, what do you think, Des? Hey. My cat is fucking pissed. I love it. On the backside of Alrund is Haka, Angry Bird. 1 and a blue for a 2/3 flyer. Wow. Whenever Haka deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand, then scry 2. Oh, weird. Oh, what? Okay. Huh. So, my god, the first card I got was uncomputably bizarre. I mean, okay, so I swing a bird in, the bird comes back, but because I scried next turn, I can play Alrund, and I can have it out, and then it can, like, draw stuff, and 0. I don't like it. I don't like it. I always rate things as a 0 if I don't understand them, which is why TikTok also gets a 0. I don't understand. I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around this. I'll run in the second main. Alright. It's weird. It's a weird card. But it's a dual-sided card. It's at least 3 out of 5. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. This is 0. It's a terrible card. This is an unbelievably terrible card. And the reason is because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. There's good Magic players playing who are like, I have an opinion, and I want to let you know, if you need to share that opinion, it just costs $5 to subscribe. Alrund's Epiphany. 5 and 2 blue. Create 2 1/1 blue bird creature tokens with flying. Take an extra turn after this one. Ooh, Ali Eldrazi is just like, oh, I'm going to run this with Golos. Like, this is, Hey. Come here. I think you'll find things less dramatic if you chill out. Hi. Are you doing okay? Yeah, we don't like having a big dog here because we're a small cat. It's okay. We're scritching the butt right now. Yeah, hi. Hi. Oh, you can start to hear the purr. Start to hear the little trill. Get ready for the trill. Dispy. Okay, that didn't sound happy at all. It sounded like there's a demon coming at you. How's it going? Oh, there's a little happy. Hi. Oh my god, we've hit purrs. We've hit purring. I repeat, we have purring. Therefore, this card is a 5 out of 5. Dispy. Ow! Ow! Okay, you're a good cat. You're allowed to bite me. It's fine. You've had a tough day. Yeah, that's a piece of styrofoam. What do you think? Okay, let's go back to the card review. Alrund's Epiphany. So we can foretell it, and it still costs 6. Alright, I think Alrund's Epiphany is... EK Hologram says, did you know that birds control time? I did know that. Albatross of Time is a longtime subscriber of the chat, and this is one of the core tenets of being a bird. There's a lot of noises happening in here. Yeah, so Alrund's Epiphany really strikes me a little bit not very good and constructed, because, like, most of the time, extra turn spells are draw a card, play a land. They're, like, exactly identically equivalent to a growth spiral. Because you cast it, and then nothing happens, and it's your turn again. This is bad. I can imagine, in Limited, Alrund's Epiphany being nice if you have, say, a Azorius Flyers deck, and you are in a position where you have some good momentum. You play Alrund's Epiphany, you summon some birds, you take another turn, and then you clickety-clack, hit him in the face for just a wee bit more damage. I think that seems okay. This seems like limitedable. I would give it like a 4 out of 5 in Limited. I wouldn't lose my mind, but I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's like okay. I think it's like a thing. However, Constructed 0, don't even like it. Annul. 1. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Oh, fuck yeah. This, I call these safety valve cards. Or maybe it was Corwin. Maybe, Corwin, you're the one who called it a safety valve card. Hi, Corwin. Good to see you in chat today. This is one of these cards that just says, hey, if artifacts or enchantments ever get too strong, annul. So this is a sideboard out of 5. If you run this in draft, I just want to say I'm so sorry about your terrible draft. Ascendant Spirit, 1 blue. You can pay some snow. Ascendant Spirit becomes a Spirit Warrior with base power and toughness 2/3. What does this mean? I don't understand how to parse this. I don't understand how to parse this. Hi. Just chill. What does this even mean? Is this snow mana is produced by a snow source? Okay, so it's sort of like if I have, hey, Des, hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop doing that. What is it with these cats in my power cables? So it looks like if I have a red snow land and a blue snow land, they tap for snow mana. Okay, so if you pay 2, it becomes a Spirit Warrior with base power and toughness 2/3. Then if I pay 3, if this is a warrior, put a flying counter on it and becomes a Spirit Warrior Angel with base power and toughness 4/4. Okay. Then pay 4. If Ascendant Spirit is an angel, put 2+1/+1 counters on it, and it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Oh, that's kind of fun. It's like a level up card. You first do the 2, and then you do the 3, and then you do the 4, and it just keeps getting bigger, solider, thicker, and tighter. So I think, this seems cool. It starts as a 1/1 and just grows. Alright, I mean, we'll definitely try to make a deck out of it. It doesn't seem notable. It seems pretty normal. Yeah, there is the comment about control, where you can pay 1 on turn 1 to get an Ascendant Spirit, and if you don't counter or don't do anything at end of turn, you can just continue to make it grow. So that seems kind of neat. But I still think that it sucks compared to other options. So I think it's okay. I think it's like totally okay. Totally fine. It's a dump of resources in draft, and I think for that reason it's probably pretty good. So, you know, it doesn't do that much for me. Augury Raven. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 flyer that you can foretell. This is a limited card, and I like it as a limited card. I think it seems very, very nicely costed, because it's often a 3/3 flyer for 3. This is a very solid limited card. This is a very, very, very solid limited card. Avalanche Collar. 1 and a blue. Targets no land you control. Becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with hexproof and haste until the end of turn. It's still a land. You know, this is, again, a very nice little limited card. Going to be terrible in draft. Going to be terrible in constructed because it's you know, make a land till end of turn. You know, so who cares? Ignoring this. This is, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. Behold the multiverse. Ah, yes. How every Marvel fan thinks they look like. Alright, 3 and a blue for an instant. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. Oh, actually, I think all Marvel fans are pretty cool. This card seems very nice. Scry 2, draw 2. Okay. This seems really good. This seems really, really good. I mean, this is really, really, really good. Because the thing is that, again, in reactive, control-y kind of decks, you are constantly trying to find the best possible time to do the thing. And it can be really tricky if your opponent, say, doesn't cast a spell for you to counter. Well, crap, I was wanting to counter on that turn, and then do card draw the next turn, because then they'd be out of cards, but now I can't do my card draw spell, because I didn't have anything to counter last turn, so I need to counter this turn, and yada, 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 yada. But Foretell is a really nice way to kind of say, okay, well, I didn't counter anything, so I'm not going to spend 4 to behold the multiverse. I'm going to foretell it and leave some mana up. And so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. This does seem really nice. Again, things that cost 2 are really, really key for control decks. Really, 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 really key. Lets you hedge very, very well. And you often wind up in situations where you have like 5 mana, so you can do a 3 mana thing, and you want 2 mana open to like counter or kill or something like this. Bergstrider. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So this feels acceptable to me in limited. It seems like a completely fine limited card, but it seems especially excellent in constructed. It seems especially excellent at constructed. Now, Jacob says you can only foretell at sorcery speed. You can only pay this amount at sorcery speed, but not at sorcery speed. You can only do it on your turn, because you could do it at start or end phase on your turn, and that's still fine. But but paying the foretell cost is instant. It's whatever the speed the card is. So the important thing is, often what happens is that if you're a control deck, you have weird turn 2s, but it's nice to be able to foretell on turn 2, and then maybe do nothing on turn 3, and then foretell something on turn 4 and leave 2 open for something else. It's really, really, really nice. Bergstrider. 4 and a blue, snow creature, giant wizard, 4/4. When Bergstrider enters the battlefield, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls. If snow was spent to cast a spell, that permanent doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. A classic limited card. Not useful in constructed, but still always happy to see something like this. The tap and it doesn't untap during controller's untap step. Very nice stat line. 5 mana, 4/4. Woo! Bind the Munster. 1 blue, enchant creature. When Bind the Munster enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. It deals damage to you equal to its power, and then it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Oh, wow. That's really nice. That's a nice, cheap, limited kind of card that I think would be excellent. This is great. This is great, 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 great. Yeah, Bind the Monster is an A+ one. I like this. This is just amazing limited. Terrible and constructed. Here, look, I can move the mouse. There you go. You can lie down on the mouse pad. Actually, yeah, is this constructed playable? This is kind of an interesting question. Is this a constructed playable card? Actually, probably in one of those weird Is It or Mono Blue or Azorius tempo decks. I can see some merit. I can see some merit. Like it's a 1 mana removal, which you don't normally have as blue. Brine Barrow Intruder, 1 blue for a 1/2 flasher. And it's a rogue! Oh my god, rogue is a deck in the meta! This card's broken! Flash, when Brine Barrow Intruder enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. This is not a flyer, but you know, it's a 1/2 flasher. Seems kind of garbagey. Doesn't tickle my pickle. It does seem like also pretty mediocre in limited, but, you know, -2/-0 creatures are pretty common in limited anyways. You know, it was like the Zulaport Duelist that could come out and kick you in the teeth. Yeah, I think this is not a card right here. Cosima, God of the Voyage. I read this card 50 times. This is one of the cards I did spoil myself on. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile Cosima. If you do, it gains Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if Cosima is exiled, you may put a voyage counter on it, being the land. If you don't, return Cosima to the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, and draw X cards where X is the number of voyage counters on it. Excuse me. It is, I guess, is not the land. It's Cosima. It being Cosima. Okay. So. Okay, so. Here's how it works. Alright, let me ignore the rules for a second. The idea is that Cosima goes away. As you play lands, because you played land, Cosima went on a journey in those lands, and therefore gets a voyage counter for all the lands that she visited. And then, when Cosima comes back to the battlefield, she gets power and experience based upon the lands that she got to voyage and journey to or whatever. So, you know, the idea, I guess, is you can have Cosima not be there for a while. She's gone on a voyage. She's the god of the voyage. And when she comes back from her voyaging, you get to draw a bunch. Okay. And this is repeatable. So, whenever a land enters, you may put a voyage counter on it. Or if you don't, you return her to the battlefield. So, she's exiled. Play a land. She gets a counter. Leave her there. Wait a turn. Play another land. Instead of putting a counter, have her come back. Boom. You get to draw one card. She has one counter on it. So, whenever you play a land, you either get to power up Cosima, or you get to bring her back and cash in on the voyage. So she is actually Cosima, god of a bank with interest. Okay. On the flip side of Cosima is the Omen Keel, which I love as a name. 1 in blue for a 3/3. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles that many cards from the top of their library. You may play lands from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled. So the Omen Keel is sort of like finding other lands from your opponents and putting them in there. Junebug Wilson says, but wouldn't re-exiling her get rid of the counters? Or am I not understanding how that works? Yeah, no, she should lose the counters. If she leaves and then comes back in, she doesn't have any counters. But it still means that you can send her away again and keep repeatably cashing in on her. So this card is good. Because it's Crew 1, it's a 3/3. I actually think the Omen Keel is probably better than Cosima, but you play the Omen Keel. You tap, swing in with the Omen Keel, and exile 3 cards, then you can play a land. And here's the thing that's tricky. You may play lands from among these cards for as long as they remain exiled. That means just like if you can't do it this turn, you can do it the next turn. So this card is a words out of 10 for me. Yeah, I have no ability to predict whether this is going to be good or bad. I have no ability to predict. Oh, anyways, hey, I believe this was the card that your pal Sean revealed. Yeah? Cosmos Charger, 3 and a blue for a flash flyer. Foretelling cards from your hand cost 1 less and can be done on any player's turn. I mean, that, very, very sick. This is a particularly nice thing for control decks to have, but I still think it's not even necessary. 3D Res says Horse Subs Unite. Oh yeah, that was in Bloodborne in the DLC, where I was... Come here. Come here, I'm right here. Here's the scritches. Yeah, I mean, a flash flying 4 mana 3/3 is great. Amazing. It can be flashed in as a combat trick. I know, we're happy, aren't we? Yeah. Wow, you are really happy, huh? Yeah. Ouch. That's my cat. I love the purry meow. It's my favorite. So, meh. Hey, Des. Hey, what are you chewing on? Probably my garbage. Hi. Oh my god, I love my little cats. This is so great. Yeah, so, I mean, I would say that 90% of the time, this is a 3/3 flash flyer. And good and limited. This might be valuable in, like, a mono blue tempo deck. I actually think this is probably one of the best one. Alright. Hi, little kitten. So I'm going to give this like a 3 out of 5 constructed and a 5 out of 5 in limited. Literally a flash flyer, a combat trick creature that's big and does other things. I mean, this is amazing. You could even flash this in and then foretell something immediately. Like, you could wait till turn 4, play this for its foretell cost of 3, and then recast it. I mean, it seems really good. I think this is quite terrific. Cyclone Summoner. Okay. 5 and a pair of blues for a 7/7 giant wizard. When Cyclone Summoner enters a battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hands, except for giants, wizards, and lands. Oh, man. Oh, I would love if it returned all lands. That would be a win condition right there. Okay. This is very clearly a limited card. Hey, if you're happy and you know it, then go meow. If you're happy and you know it, then go meow. This fucking cat is a terrible performer. This is a limited card. A 7/7 return all permanents to their owner's hand. There was a really strong card called Cylonic Rift or Cyclonic Rift. I can never remember. Abyss Witch and the Manji both meow. It's good to know you're both happy. So this is an absolute blowout card that can completely annihilate someone or re-equilibrate the board if things are in a bit of a pickle. So I'd give this like a 4 out of 5, maybe a 5 out of 5 in limited. It's 7, which is a lot. That's like a lot of mana. But it's the largest wizard around, and you know I like large green men. No reason to not love large blue men as well. Not a constructed card because it's like a 7 mana do nothing when it enters the battlefield in a lot of circumstances. Depart the Realm, 1 and blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Huh. That's kind of an interesting one. You know, a lot of the mono blue tempo decks would run a single unsummon type effect, and this is another one of those, but I feel like there's still... Is unsummon in the... I don't even know if it's in standard. Whatever. Did you knock my... Uh-oh. I wonder where that went. Well, whatever. I have these little traps set out for little fruit flies. And the one that was behind my desk is missing, and cats have been journeying there, so... Disdainful Stroke. This card is terrible and will never see the light of day in constructed. Draugr, Thought Thief, 2 and a blue. When Draugr, Thought Thief enters the battlefield, look at the top card of target player's library. This is a joke because it's like one of my favorite cards in Standard. Draugr, Thought Thief, 2 and a blue. When Draugr, Thought Thief enters the battlefield, look at the top card of target player's library. You may put that card into their graveyard. Not a constructed card. It's a mediocre card in limited as well. It's whatever. Who cares? No one does. It's not a thing. Frost Auga. Math Geeks is no longer standard. I mean, like, it was in standard, though, because it's a reprint, and it's just one of my favorite cards in standard ever. I just loved it. I loved the Mythic Invitational, where players are running 4 copies of Disdainful Stroke in the main board. It's just so good. All right, Frost Augur, 1 blue. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a snow card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. What? Okay. 5 out of 5 draft card. I mean, 5 out of 5 draft card, right? If you're in limited and you just start peeling cards off the top of your deck, that could be rad. I don't know how hard it is to get snow lands. Do you just, like, put them in? Can you get snow basics, or do I have to actually draft a snow basic? Do I have to draft a snow basic? I don't know. What symbol is that? That's the snow symbol. Someone had a tough winter and said, I want snow to be a mechanic. So snow is, kind of like if you tap a mountain for red, you have made both colorless, or you've made mana that you've made this kind of mana, this colorless one, and you also have the colorful mana. So snow lands kind of have like, if you tap for red, it kind of makes snow. Yeah, something like that. You get a snowy red mana. Yeah, so again, the snow lands produce mana that can be used for its color, it can be used for colorless stuff, and it can be used for these snow effects. I'm correct. No, I know I'm correct. I'm correct. I'm trying to provide a metaphor for someone to help make sense if they don't know what Snowland is. Yes, I know generic mana is not colorless. Fuck. Actually, Sean, you trying to communicate to someone who didn't understand actually is not the exact, precise, correct version. I know. But yeah, the idea is that Snowlands produce snowy stuff. There you go. Frost Peak Yeti. 3 and a blue. 1 and a snow. Frost Peak Yeti can't be blocked this turn. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Like honestly, unblockability effects are, I feel like, pretty high value to have one of them in your deck. You don't need a lot in limited, but you know, it's eh. East Metal says you do need to draft the snow basics or snow dual lands. Yeah, that's the thing that I did not know about, because like I haven't played with snow sets. So that's interesting to note. It would probably be a little bit broken if you could just fill your deck with basic snow lands automatically. Terrible constructed card, Frostpire Arcanist, 4 and a blue for a 2/5. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a giant or wizard. Okay, so this means it could be a 4 mana 2/5. When Frostpire Arcanist enters the battlefield, search your library for an instant or sorcery card with the same name as a card in your graveyard. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Huh. So, obviously, it's a very strong limited. I feel like this would be terrible in constructed. There's already so much easier ways to find stuff. I don't know. I would be like, eh. Hey, Blue Wall, have a good night. I would be a little bit like, eh, about the Frostpire Arcanist, unless there's a specific pricey instant or sorcery that I like. A 2/5 that's a good crunchy stat line for defense, so that's kind of nice. Being able to play a 4 mana 2/5. I mean, there was a giant crab, the 2/5 crab that I used to play. Oh, so good. So good. So, you know, it seems like reasonable and limited. Not constructed, though. Giant's Amulet. A single blue. When Giant's Amulet enters a battlefield, you may pay a bunch to create a blue giant wizard creature token, then attach Giant's Amulet to it. Quick creature has +0/+1 and says this creature has hexproof as long as it's untapped. Ooh. I mean, I hate this. It's a 5 mana 4/5 with conditional hexproof. It's okay. It's okay. It's like a 2 in limited. It's like, I could run it. I could not. It's a fine card. It's not going to excite anyone in constructed. Glimpse of the Cosmos, 1 and a blue. Look at the top 3 cards, put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom. As long as you control a giant, you may cast Glimpse of the Cosmos from your graveyard by paying blue rather than paying its mana cost. If you cast Glimpse of the Cosmos this way, and it would be put in your graveyard, exile it instead. Wow. Huh. Wow. This is excellent in limited. This is excellent. This is excellent. Holy crap. This is a pay 2 to find a card and then pay 1 to get another card. That's, wow, that is really, 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 really good. I mean, with this Frostpire Arcanist, it's already a giant. It activates it. I mean, if you can get 2 Glimpse of the Cosmoses in that Frostpire giant, I mean, that's a bomb-ass combo. I think this is a 5 out of 5 in limited. I don't see it ever being useful in constructed ever under any circumstance. Would it work in Teamer Adventures? There's the giant. Is Lovestruck Beast a giant? I think Lovestruck Beast is just a beast. I can't think of any other giants that are there. Other than the Bone Crusher giant, which is obviously a giant. I'm saying outside of Bone Crusher. Is there anything other than the Bone Crusher? I guess Beanstalk Giant. Seems terrible. Alright, great. Graven Lore. 3 and a pair of blue. Scry X, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell, then draw 3 cards. It's a snow instant. I have no idea how this is going to play out. Draw 3 for 5 at instant speed. I mean, it's going to be pretty good in draft, pretty good, but I think it's garbage in constructed. There's just so many other ways that you would want to be drawing stuff. There's so many other things that you'd want to do. I'm not getting behind that one. Icebind Pillar, 2 and a blue. Tap target artifact or creature for some snow. Oh, damn, man. Oh my god, in limited? If you have an Icebind Pillar, yeah, Icebind Pillar. Anytime I see one of these, like, pay 1, tap a target creature, I mean, that is a limited, nasty, dirty card. You obviously have to have the snow sources in there. If you don't have enough snow sources, there's going to be snow hope for you. But the thing that's nice about this is that if you play it on turn 3, you can begin tapping down their medium-sized creature, and then they play a medium-sized flyer, so you start tapping that down, and then they play a gigantic flyer, and you start tapping that down. It's really, really, really nice. It just allows you to change and flexibly address whatever threats on the board. 5 out of 5 in limited. 5 out of 5 in limited. Love it. Icebreaker Kraken. Ooh, reminding me why I love Magic. Look at the cost of this. 10. And then a pair of blues for an 8/8. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each snowland you control. Mono blue snow. Okay. When Icebreaker Kraken enters the battlefield, artifacts and creatures target opponent controls don't untap during that player's next untap step. Return 3 snowlands you control to their owner's hand. Return Icebreaker Kraken to its owner's hand. Huh. Okay, so in a very simple sense, this is a large blue Kraken that if I'm in a pickle, I can bounce 3 snowlands and it comes back to my hand and I can keep smashing snow down. So it has a way to protect itself, but that's a very costly protection. So in constructed, I would hit it with a 0. In limited, I would hit it with a 3. It means, you know, I think often you'll have like 2 or 3 snowlands if I'm imagining how it's going to be drafted properly. I feel like its actual cost is generally going to be 8. 9, something like that. Maybe you get 2, 3, maybe 4 off. And I think it's terrible in constructed too. Why would you want this as the finisher? Listen, in constructed, what you want is a card that's easy to land and stick. That's what you want. That's what you really, really want. You want something like one of those flash flying angels. You want something that makes a single 1/1 flyer and the rest of your deck is counterspells. That's how you win in a controlled deck. So I think Icebreaker Kraken is not going to be a good card in constructed and limited. It's going to be an extremely large body that's tricky to cast. That art is beautiful, though. I love seeing the little ships there. It reminds me that if any of you want to be truly bummed out, you should watch The Terror. Great show. Absolute misery porn. Ingarunai's. 3 and a blue for a 3/3 when Ingarunai's enters the battlefield, scry 3. When Ingarunai's dies, draw 3 cards if 3 or more creatures died this turn. This seems like a 3. No, I would actually give this a 4 in limited, purely because it's a 3/3 for 4 that when it lands, it scries 3, gets you put your land at the bottom. And I mean, filtering out those non-spells at that stage in the game seems like A+. What about in the case of a sweeper? Well, again, sticking in limited, there's not going to be a lot of sweepers. It seems like something that could potentially slow the board up, right? Like, if your opponent is swinging with 2 creatures, and one of them will trade with Ingaroon Eyes, and one of your creatures will chump, then you can just draw 3, which is pretty cool. But I don't think that the second sense is going to activate ever. What about in Constructed? I don't know, maybe if I made some dumbass token blue deck where I used white to sweep my own cards to draw 3 again. Oh, that's going to be so good. I know, Despy. I'm so happy to have your little loud self joining us again. Despy weighs 8 pounds, and 6 of them are her powerful lungs. Isn't that right, Despy? Hey. Well, it looks like you knocked some stuff over. Isn't that... Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to knock stuff over. We like it. Yeah, hi. Oh, she's getting happy. Whenever she's happy, she likes to chew on me. EXE Zelt says, can we duplicate it twice and kill all 3 to draw 9? Ow, fuck. If you had 2 of them, you draw 6. Because there's just... It doesn't say triple the amount of cards. Show us the cat. Well, hey, Des. Do you want to come up? No? Okay. Oh, she's so cute. I can't lift her up. She's too cute, Shadowcat 91. Yeah, so Carfell Harbinger. Carfell Harbinger, 1 in a blue. Oh my god, look at that! It's a blue ramp. Spend this mana only to cast. Only foretell a card from your hand or cast an instant or sorcery spell. Oh. Hey, where are you going? Hey, Des. Let me assume that Sheriff is on the... Yes, she is. Oh, dude. Yeah, so this one is... This is a real pack-fillery card. This reminds me of a Vidalian Arcanist. Other 1/3 for 2 blue cards that are just very good defensive things that kind of help later. I think this is a very solid little limited card. You'll probably want one of these in every one of your blue drafts because it's just gonna get there. I think this is great. In Constructed, it's not going to show up. Lityara Kinseekers, or Lityara Kinseekers. 3 in a blue for a 2/4 Changeling. This card is every creature type. When Lityara Kinseekers enters a battlefield, if you control 3 or more creatures that share a creature type, put a +1/+1 counter on Lityara Kinseekers, then scry 1. Okay. So it's a 2/4 for 4 that sometimes is a 3/5 for 4. 4 out of 5 in limited. I think that you'll be able to hit that pretty frequently in limited. Pretty frequently in limited. And it's just a nice body. Maybe I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, it's a solid little limited card. I like it. Not a constructed card at all. Flash enchanted creature gets -3/-0. Spire Blast says, how does Changeling work with the party mechanic? So party is rogue, cleric, wizard, warrior. If you have a Changeling, it fills in one of those slots. So if you had a warrior out already, and then you played a Kinseeker, you now have 2 party roles filled. So it just sort of moves into like a flex spot. Mists of Lityara. All right, this is a really circumstantial combat trick. Interacts with vehicles. It's okay. Mists of Lityara is pretty nice as a blue combat trick because it sticks for mid-sized creatures. This is, in effect, a removal card. You know, like if there's like a 3/2 that's kind of pesky, you can Mists of Lityara it, and it feels kind of out of the action. It doesn't prevent activated abilities, so for that reason, it sucks. But, you know, it's maybe a 23rd card. Miss Walker, 2 in a blue for a 1/4 Changeling. Flying. Miss Walker gets +1/-1 until end of turn. Ah, I like this effect. I've always been a fan of the flipsy, tipsy, topsy, turvy, whirvy. 1/4 flyer for 3 with Changeling. Clearly limited. Is it constructed playable? No, so I won't think about it too much more. Mystic Reflection. Ah, yes, sharks. 1 and a blue. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. Oh my god, jank out of 10. So wait. If I chose... if I chose, for instance, an Elder Gargaroth, that means that if I summoned 2 1/1 tokens, I would then have 2 Elder Gargaroths, right? Seems pretty fun. If I have a Terror of the Peaks and I Mystic Reflect and summon a pair of 1/1s, I now have many Terrors of the Peak. And I can foretell this shit. Oh my god. Oh. And wait a minute. Suppose that I am a board-building bastard, and my opponent plays an Ugin, and I foretell and make the target a vanilla 1/1. Ugin now comes out as a 1/1. Oh, holy shit. So, if I make a lot of little mini babies, I can make one of my babies turn into one of your big bad boys. Or if one of your big bad boys comes down, I can make your big bad boy a tiny baby. Ooh, fuck. And how much mana does it cost? Mana. This is the hot plasma of Kaldheim. This is it. Oh my god, yes. Get your Uncut Gems GIFs ready. Because this card is jank, good, and going to be something I build around. Oh my god. And you don't even have to do it on the stack. You could instant speed target an Elder Gargaroth, and then have a Krenko turn sideways during a main phase. And this is so good. This card is unfucking believable. This card's fucking good, man. Holy shit. Huggy Bear says this card may get banned. I don't think it'll get banned because it requires other cards. That's the thing. I think this is going to be great for jank, but I also think it's just an incredible card. I think it's 5 out of 5 in Constructed. I think some real bullshit decks will be made with this one. This is going to be fun. Ooh, I love this one. But what do I think about it in... What do I think about it in Draft? It seems less good in Draft. Because, for instance, if my opponent has a huge creature, I can Mystic Reflection and play a small creature, so now I have a huge creature, but I spent 2 cards just to match my opponent's 1 card. It seems like it's still going to be okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It seems worse in Limited, but in Constructed, which is all I care about anymore, because that seems so good. Orvar, the All Form. 3 and a blue for a legendary Changeling Shapeshifter. Here's my hand, darling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets 1 or more other permanents you control. What is it? What do you want? I love having my cat here again. It's been so long since my show's been interrupted by my little furry babies. Dispy! Hey, give me a meow. She's chewing on a bag. It feels great. Let me read this. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets 1 or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Wow. This card is so cool. This is the coolest shit ever. Hey, do you think it's cool? Yeah. My cat loves it. Oh, this card's fun. This is a fun card. This is amazing. Oh my god. It's a total Tammy card. Dude, let's... Oh my god, yes. Okay, look. You can Orvar, And just like a Jeskai feather deck, where you're like targeting your 10th District Legionnaires and just creating token copies of 10th District Legionnaires. Hey, Des. Yeah. Oh, fuck, I love having that little meow. It's so good. This is a fun card. I don't even know where this is good, but this has to be good. This has to be amazing. Well, I mean, imagine that you're a Simic draft deck. You cast an instant as a combat trick to help one of your buddies. And then you just make a copy of him again. Oh, fuck! It's a 5 out of 5. It's a bomb draft card. This is a bomb limited card. Everybody, Despy. Okay, this card is amazing. This gets the seal of approval from the Little Gray Princess. Oh my god, this is amazing. This is fucking incredible. Buff a card, clone the card. That's where Orvar is going to be so good. Whenever a spell or ability makes me discard, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. What? A token of target permanent. If my opponent mind rots me and they have Ugin, Orvar just becomes an Ugin. It's a target permanent. Pilfering Hawk. 1 and a blue for a 1/2 flyer. Draw a card, then discard a card. Total uninterested. Oh, my baby. My baby's here. Hi. Hi. Welcome. Do you want to come over here to the mouse pad? Here, let me move this. There you go. Put my keys over here. Yeah, no, have a seat. This is my gray cat. Hi. Yep. Smell my face. Still dad, isn't that great? Well, I apologize for that. You can't chew on my headphones, please. Just have a seat. Here, I'm gonna put my hand here. See? I told her I was gonna put my hand there, but she doesn't like that. Hey, Des. She does not like me using her mouse pad. Do you understand how cats work? This card is less interesting to me. It's a bird. It's not the bird of the day. It's just a bird. Raven form, 2 and a blue. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a bird. Oh! What? Oh my god. 5 out of 5 constructed and limited. 5, just unbelievable card. This is an unbelievable card. What? Holy... Oh my god, it's a common card. Oh, what the hell? Now, this is a very blue mechanic, which is turn a creature into another creature, but the way it's implemented using the term exile, wow. That's really, really good. This feels almost good in the way that, like, black removal cards are good. Jeez. This is incredible. This is ridiculously good. What speed is Foretell? Foretell is just on your turn. So it's the speed of it, well, it depends on which one you're talking about. The paying the 2, this is just during your turn. Foretell, this is whatever speed the card is. How do you turn an artifact into a bird? Carefully, Gandalf. This is one of the best cards I've seen ever because blue specifically lacks a lot of tools to deal with threats once they hit the battlefield. Blue is really good at countering, really good at like drawing a lot of cards, but this is why blue is often combined with white or black in control lists. So the blue can draw the cards and counter the spells, and white and black can kill the stuff once it lands. But now with Raven form, you can spend 1 to exile a thing and leave a 1/1 up. Now having a 1/1 blue flying bird, it's relevant. It can actually end the game. Yeah, I mean, this is incredible. This is just an incredible hard card. Yeah, no, this is 5 out of 5 in every format where it would be run. This is incredible. Reflections of Litjara. 4 and a blue. When Reflections of Litjara enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Okay, this is slow, but I still think very good and limited because you just get to make extra things sometimes. Remember, you're going to have to cast 2 creature cards with the chosen type for Reflections of Lit Jar to really get there, because if you had, like, a demon, and you said demon, you'd cast a demon, get a copy of it, but now you have made 2 demons for the cost of 2 cards. This is the best jank card that has ever existed. This is amazing. You are just... I have to find a box for you, don't I? You know, I'm gonna quote Jackson Galaxy, who's this cat guy. He's like a cat behavioral expert, and he says, you are only ever doing 2 things with a cat. You are putting energy into the cat, or you are taking energy out of the cat. And my cat has too much energy in her. Hey, Des, come here. Ah. Oh, she's just so happy to be around Dad while he's working. Let me tell you, this cat has been like a shark. She has been figure-8ing between my legs. She's very, very happy. She has a lot of energy. This is wonderful. I love my cats. Okay, so Reflections Lit Jar is going to be the most amazing jank that has ever happened, ever. I love this. 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 This is incredible. Whoa, welcome back. Yeah, so this is I don't think it's going to be very good and constructed, but it is going to be very sweet. Run ashore, 4 and a pair of blues. Choose one or both. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on top or bottom of their library. Okay, so that's the Aether Gust effect. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. That feels very, very pricey. It's fun. It's actually quite good and limited. I'd probably give it a 5 in limited, actually, out of 5. I think it's actually very, very good. Because you can bounce a thing and put one on top. And that feels very good. It feels very, very good. It kind of like deletes a draw. Like really gains some tempo. Isn't that nice? Alright, we have my cat here helping out. Constructed, this just seems wildly slow. I would rather counter with blue. Alright, Rune of Flight. Enchant permanent. When Rune of Flight enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, as equipped creature, it gets flying. So this is kind of interesting, because if you enchant an equipment, you have a repeatable give a thing flying. I still think it's probably terrible. It seems only legitimately good in limited. It's nice to have you, Des. This is so nice. Isn't this nice? Yep, that's Mom. The fact that this cantrips is actually the best part about it. Cantrip is when you play it, you get to draw a card. Cantrip cards, they're just almost always pretty solid and limited. Always, at least, pretty solid and limited. Oh my fuck. A 10 out of 5, perhaps? Counter target spell for 1 and a blue. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Oh my god. This is the best card we've seen. This is amazing. I would love if this card got banned. It's so good. How predictable. This art is so good. Like, see, this is me, and this is you trying to give me an argument for why that 2/4 Flying Angel is actually really good. Yeah, no, just please. Please. How predictable. Ah, yes. An overvaluing of a Timmy card. How predictable. Okay, this is just the greatest card ever. I will quote Luis Scott Vargas, because if I do, I sound smart. Any 3-mana counterspell with upside is constructed playable. Any 3-mana counter with upside, I should say standard constructed playable. C-Toff says, it's a good Angel, Sean. How predictable. I Yeah, this definitely seems up there. I really now want to make just like a blue-white control deck. Just very simple blue-white control deck with these cards. Hard counter for 1 blue, yes. Oh, yes, Oksana Sean. Oh. Meow. Come on back. Strategic planning. This is a reprint. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them in your hand and the rest in the graveyard. Yeah, this is a reprint. I don't think it's constructed playable. I think you generally don't want to be filling up your own graveyard. And if you do, it's in a deck with like flash and instant speed stuff. So Sorcerer seems a little bit meh. Hi. Iceman says Jeskai control coming back again. I like Jeskai because I like a lot of the enormous cards, like the Jeskai Ultimatum. I think is really, really fun. But I think the fact is you just can do everything that you want to do with Azorius, you know? Undersea Invader. Oh my god, look at that perspective. Oh yes. Undersea Invader, a 6-mana 5/6 flash that enters the battlefield tapped. What? Oh my god. That's weird. That's like 2 for the price of 1 with a tripled shipping cost. I'm like, what the? Just give me the 1. What is this thing? This guy's like, I'm the biggest rogue. This card is substantially terrible. This card is as terrible as the art is good. You might want to run this in Limited as a surprise 5 damage to the dome, at which point you would just rather have a Lava Axe. This is the exact opposite of stealth. I mean, my god. This is the exact opposite of stealth. It's so terrible. He's fast but not sneaky. This is MFS Giant Gaming. Well, we trust Giant Gaming to properly analyze a giant. Blood on the stone. Oh! Is that it? Undersea Invader? Okay.